What if you never slept again? Not for a night, not for a week, forever. At first, it sounds like a superpower. You'd get back what? A third of your life? Imagine the projects you could finish, the books you could read. But here's the thing. That fantasy, it's based on a huge misunderstanding. We think of sleep as downtime, a break. But it's not a break. It's the main event. Waking life is just the intermission. So let's say you try it. You just stay awake. The first 24 hours are actually kind of familiar. You're tired, sure. A bit foggy. Your brain's reaction time slows down, like you've had a drink or two. This is where most of us stop and go to bed. But if you pushed through, after 2 or 3 days, things start to get strange. You'll have these little moments called microsleeps. Your brain just drops offline for a few seconds. You're staring at a wall and then you blink and you've lost 5 seconds. Your eyes are open, but nobody's home. This is your brain desperately trying to do its housekeeping while you're still technically conscious. It's not working. Around day 3 or 4, your mind starts to genuinely unravel. This isn't just being spacey. Your brain, starved of the reboot cycle it gets from sleep, begins to malfunction in really specific, terrifying ways. First come the sensory glitches. Lights might look like they have trails. Sounds seem distorted. Then the hallucinations start. And I don't mean seeing blurry shapes. I mean full, detailed hallucinations. You might see a spider crawl across the table, or a person walk into the room. Your brain is so desperate for dream state activity, it starts projecting it into your waking world. But the worst part isn't seeing things that aren't there. It's your emotions. They go completely off the rails. The part of your brain that regulates fear and anxiety, the amygdala, goes into overdrive. You become paranoid, irritable, and deeply, profoundly afraid. The world feels hostile and wrong. Now, realistically, you'd probably be institutionalized or collapse by now. But let's say you have some magical protection from that, and we keep going. Because while your mind is falling apart, your body is quietly beginning to die. See, sleep isn't primarily for your brain. It's for your body's maintenance crew. Every night, while you're out, a whole team gets to work. Without that night shift, systems start to fail. Your hormones go first. Leptin and ghrelin, which control hunger, get completely confused. You might feel ravenously hungry all the time, or not at all. You'll likely start gaining unhealthy fat, especially around your organs, no matter what you eat. Your immune system gets confused too. It becomes like a tired, overworked security guard. It starts missing real threats, like viruses. But it also starts attacking things it shouldn't, your own healthy cells. You'd become incredibly prone to infections and also to autoimmune problems. And the stress. Your body would be flooded with cortisol, the stress hormone, 24 hours a day. Imagine the feeling of being chased by a bear, but it never stops. That constant chemical bath starts to corrode you. It damages tissue, weakens your bones, and strains your heart. Which brings us to the brain's secret, nightly ritual. This is where it gets dark. Every night, your brain opens up its plumbing. It's called the glymphatic system. It uses spinal fluid to flush out the metabolic garbage that builds up while you're thinking. Toxins, like a protein called beta amyloid. If you don't sleep, that garbage doesn't get taken out. It piles up. The brain starts to drown in its own toxic waste. This beta amyloid is the same stuff that forms the sticky plaques found in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. After about 10 days of total deprivation, the brain, in a desperate act of self-preservation, might start doing something horrifying. It begins to clear out not just the waste, but the neurons and synapses themselves. It starts to consume its own critical connections. This is the point of no return. The damage becomes literal and irreversible. There's a famous and deeply unethical experiment from the 1980s where they kept rats from sleeping. All of them died within 11 to 32 days. They didn't just get tired and pass away. They died from system-wide failure. Their fur fell out. Their metabolisms went haywire, and they lost weight even while eating constantly. Their body temperature dropped. They developed sores. Their organs shut down. Their brains had essentially been poisoned and cannibalized from the inside. So, what's the fatal threshold for a human? We don't know for sure, and we never will ethically. The record for intentional, monitored sleep deprivation is about 11 days, set by a teenager named Randy Gardner in 1964. By the end, he was hallucinating, paranoid, and had severe cognitive deficits. He recovered, but he was lucky. He wasn't anywhere near the fatal line. For a human to die purely from lack of sleep, it would likely be a chaotic collapse. Maybe multiple organ failure as the stress becomes too much. Maybe a catastrophic infection your immune system can't fight. Or maybe your brain, so overloaded and damaged, just has a massive seizure, or slips into a coma it can't come back from. You wouldn't just not wake up. Your waking world would have already become a living nightmare long before your body finally quit. The ultimate, sobering truth is this: the very act of staying conscious forever is what would destroy the machinery of consciousness. It's a perfect, brutal paradox. Sleep isn't a bug in the human system. It's the most important feature. It's when your memories get filed and processed, when your emotions are dialed down from their raw, daytime intensity, when your body fights cancer cells, repairs tissue, and balances its chemistry. The you that you experience as a continuous person, it's an illusion, carefully rebuilt every single night during REM sleep. Without that rebuild, you disintegrate. So, the next time you think about burning the midnight oil, or bragging about how little sleep you need, remember this: you're not borrowing time from some unused bank. You're taking a high-interest loan from a lender that will eventually demand payment in your sanity, your health, and the very structure of your mind. Sleep isn't a failure to be awake. It's the secret, non-negotiable price of being you.